famous astronomer Carl Sagan once said that the Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena, and in many ways that is true. This blue jewel we call Earth is really only a small member even within our solar system. The Earth is just under 8,000 miles in diameter, about 400 miles wider than Venus and about 4,000 miles wider than Mars. But compared to the gas giant planet of Jupiter, we are dwarfed in size. Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, is just about 80,000 miles wider than the Earth. But even Jupiter does not compare to the size of the Sun, our home star. The Sun has a diameter of about 865,000 miles. That means you can fit about 1.3 million Earths inside the Sun. But even the Sun does not compare to the largest star in our galaxy, VY Canis Majoris, which has a diameter of 1.2 billion miles. If the Sun was 15 feet in diameter, VY Canis Majoris would be the height of Mount Everest, 6 miles high. You can fit 9.3 billion suns inside VY Canis Majoris. Our solar system is about 7 billion miles wide, but even our solar system is just a tiny speck within our enormous spiral galaxy called the Milky Way. The Milky Way galaxy is estimated to be about 100,000 light years across. To put that into perspective, the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. Think about how fast you would pass the Earth at 8,000 miles wide while traveling at the speed of light. It would hardly be a fraction of a second. If you left the Earth, it would take you about 8 minutes to reach the Sun, and about 5 hours to exit our solar system. But it would take you 100,000 years, going 186,000 miles per second, to go from one end of the Milky Way to the other. That is a big galaxy. Within the Milky Way galaxy, there are about 200 billion stars and an estimated 400 billion planets. But even our galaxy is just one of over 100 billion galaxies that make up our universe. Just think about how many planets and stars are in our universe. There are more planets and stars in our universe than all the grains of sand on all the beaches on this entire Earth. A truly mind-blowing statistic. So yes, as Carl Sagan remarked, we are indeed a small stage in a vast cosmic arena. But this blue jewel we call Earth just may be the most privileged planet throughout the entire cosmos. In 1966, Sagan said that there are two basic criteria for a planet to support life: the right kind of star and a planet the right distance from that star. That number soon grew to 10, then 20, to 50, and now scientists speculate that there are over 100 parameters necessary for a planet to support life, all of which must be perfectly met for complex life to be possible. Let's take a look at some of them. The Earth is just the right distance from our home star, 93 million miles away. Slightly closer, the Earth's temperature would be too hot. Just slightly further away, the Earth would freeze. The Earth's atmosphere is made up of 21% oxygen. If that percentage decreased just slightly, life would not have enough oxygen to survive. If that percentage increased just slightly, fires would spontaneously break out all over the Earth. Our moon is just the right size and just the right distance from the Earth. Our moon stabilizes the tilt of the Earth, regulating our temperature and our seasons. If the moon were slightly larger and slightly closer or further away, seasonal temperature changes would be too extreme for life on Earth. The Earth's atmosphere has just the right amount of transparency. If it were less transparent, too much of the sun's solar radiation would reach the Earth's surface. If it were more transparent, not enough of the sun's solar radiation would reach the Earth. The atmospheric compositions of precise levels of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and ozone are in themselves parameters for life on Earth. Carbon dioxide levels are just right for life on this planet. A little more, a runaway greenhouse effect would take place and we'd all burn up. A little less, plants would not be able to maintain sufficient photosynthesis. If the thickness of the Earth's crust were greater, too much oxygen would be transferred to the crust to support life. If it were thinner, volcanic and tectonic activity would make life impossible. A very similar effect would take place if the water vapor levels were to change even slightly. The gas giant planet Jupiter acts as a cosmic vacuum cleaner as its massive gravitational pull draws away asteroids that would otherwise potentially hit the Earth. These are just a handful of many. Astrophysicist Hugh Ross has calculated the probability that these and other constants would exist today for any planet in the universe by chance. Assuming that there are 10 to the 36 planets in the universe, his answer is shocking. 1 chance in 10 to the 138. That's 1 chance in 1 with 138 zeros after it. As mentioned in my previous video, there are only 10 to the 80 atoms in the entire universe. So when we ask the big question, is this Earth designed to support life? The evidence most certainly points very strongly in that direction. And as we contemplate the magnitude and wondrous perfection of this universe, as well as this incredibly and most beautifully designed planet we call Earth, let's stop for a moment and just contemplate. What would it be like to behold the wondrous beauty and perfection of its designer? How much greater is the Creator than the creation? Of how much more beauty lies inside the painter than the painting? God spoke through the prophet Isaiah 700 years before Christ as he said this, "To whom will you compare me? Who is my equal?" asked the Holy One. "Look up to the heavens. Who created all the stars? He brings them out like an army, one after another, calling each by its name. Because of his great power and incomparable strength, not a single one is missing." God himself says to humanity, "What can you compare to me?" He then answers his own question, "Only the innumerable stars in the universe can compare to my greatness, says the Lord." He then says that he created all of them and calls them each by name. As the famous hymn writer once wrote, "O Lord my God, when I, in awesome wonder, consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. How great thou art, how great thou art."